What if Worlds Apart biggest twist wasn't in the script, but hidden in a single frame? Today, we're exposing the secret even the director tried to bury. We are introduced to ᗯကိᗩᗇ, a cheerful young girl excited because her parents had come to pick her up from school. Holding an ice cream in her hand, she walked toward their car happily, thrilled about spending time together. But in a heartbreaking moment, a speeding truck crashes into her parents' car. In a flash, her happiness vanishes, replaced by devastating grief. The next scene shifts to a hospital, where ᗯကိᗩᗇ's grandmother arrives and learns the tragic news. Both of Ace's parents have died. Overcome with grief, ᗯကိᗩᗇ falls into a state of shock. To manage legal matters, the grandmother calls her second daughter, Ace's aunt, ᗯကိᗩᗪ. Soon after, relatives discuss Ace's situation. Although many family members are present, no one is willing to take responsibility for the orphan teen, not even her grandmother. Witnessing this, ᗯကိᗪᗪ, who had never been close to her sister, steps forward. She admits she always hated Ace's mother, but still offers to take Ace in. Touched by this gesture, Ace decides to stay with ᗯကိᗪᗪ, the only person who showed her concern after the funeral. Ace arrives at ᗯကိᗪᗪ's cluttered and chaotic home with just a few belongings. ᗯကိᗪᗪ keeps her waiting outside for a few minutes before letting her in. She shows Ace the washroom, the fridge, and where she will be staying. Then, ᗯကိᗪᗪ immediately gets back to work and calls her boss, who's also a friend, to share the news that she's adopted her niece. Her boss is stunned, especially since ᗯကိᗪᗪ once refused to keep a cat for just 3 days. Still, the next step is to make the adoption legal. ᗯကိᗪᗪ's boss advises her to contact Shingo, a lawyer and ᗯကိᗪᗪ's ex-boyfriend. The next morning, while ᗯကိᗪᗪ sleeps in, Ace wakes up, makes breakfast, and heads. There, she meets her best friend, who expresses sympathy, but Ace dislikes being pitted. Her friend admits she had to tell the teacher about Ace's situation due to her long absence. The teacher, too, shows sympathy and informs her that the students will support her in catching up with missed lessons. This only makes Ace feel worse. Ace tells the teacher she had hoped her school life could go on normally, but now even that seems ruined. Upset, she walks out and harshly tells her friend she hates her. Heartbroken, she visits her old house and knocks on the door. When no one answers, a neighbor calls out her name. For a moment, Ace mistakes her for her mother. The realization that her mother is truly gone hits hard. Meanwhile, ᗯကိᗪᗪ meets with Shingo to start the adoption process. Shingo is shocked, as their breakup was rooted in ᗯကိᗪᗪ's refusal to accept responsibility for family life. He questions her change of heart, and she explains she felt something stir inside her when she saw Ace. Shingo warns her she can still change her mind, as the adoption isn't yet legal. But ᗯကိᗪᗪ is resolute. She rushes home, thinking Ace must be back from school, but Ace is still missing. Just as ᗯကိᗪᗪ begins to worry, Ace returns. When questioned, Ace lies and says she got lost. ᗯကိᗪᗪ gently tells her to call next time if she's in trouble. That night, feeling guilty for her behavior, Ace calls her friend and apologizes. ᗯကိᗪᗪ takes Ace to her old house to collect her belongings. While packing, Ace finds a jar of pickles. She explains that although she once disliked them, she grew to love them after her mother made some. ᗯကိᗪᗪ says she never liked pickles either. Ace encourages her to try them, and ᗯကိᗪᗪ ends up enjoying the taste, symbolizing how small changes can shift one's perspective. Ace then asks why ᗯကိᗪᗪ hated her mother. ᗯကိᗪᗪ replies that her feelings can't change now. If she didn't forgive her sister while she was alive, why now? Ace draws a comparison to the pickles. How trying something new changed her mind. She urges ᗯကိᗪᗪ to open up. ᗯကိᗪᗪ tries to explain that life isn't as simple as food. Just as Ace can't fully grasp ᗯကိᗪᗪ's pain, ᗯကိᗪᗪ can't fully feel Ace's sorrow. The next morning, Ace has a holiday and surprises ᗯကိᗪᗪ by cleaning the entire house. ᗯကိᗪᗪ is amazed at the transformation but feels uneasy, not wanting Ace to shoulder adult responsibilities. Ace reassures her that she does it out of happiness. ᗯကိᗪᗪ gives her a diary to write her feelings. That evening, ᗯကိᗪᗪ's boss visits and meets Ace. The two get along well. Time passes. Asa gets admission in a high school, but feels lonely as her old friends have moved on. One day, she returns home to find a child welfare lawyer questioning ᗩကိᗩᗪ about a suspicious 3 Indian rupees lack withdrawal from Asa's account. The lawyer suspects ᗩကိᗪᗪ of misusing funds. At that moment, Asa arrives and clarifies that she withdrew the money to buy a special laptop for music production, her passion. She apologizes for not informing ᗩကိᗪᗪ, fearing she would be denied, as with her mother. Embarrassed, the lawyer apologizes to ᗩကိᗪᗪ that soon after, Asa's grandmother visits and takes them out for lunch. She senses they're doing well and hands ᗩကိᗪᗪ an envelope containing a diary written by Asa's mother, meant for Asa when she entered high school. At home, ᗩကိᗪᗪ reads the diary but decides not to give it to Asa yet, fearing it might emotionally overwhelm her. Asa gradually finds her rhythm again, even joining a school music band. She writes lyrics for a new song and shares them with ᗩကိᗪᗪ, who helps her find them. When Asa performs them at school, the lyrics are appreciated so much that they're posted on the notice board. Encouraged, Asa decides to help ᗩကိᗪᗪ reconnect with her past. She takes ᗩကိᗪᗪ to a library where ᗩကိᗪᗪ's old novel is still a bestseller. Fans approach for autographs. Even Shingo is there and asks to meet her again. ᗩကိᗪᗪ agrees, feeling good reconnecting with people, all thanks to Asa. That evening, while with Shingo, ᗩကိᗪᗪ talks more about Asa than herself, showing her deepening bond and sense of responsibility. ᗩကိᗪᗪ also tells Shingo about the diary she hasn't given to Asa. Shingo advises her to wait for the right time. Meanwhile, Asa's song lyrics are praised at school, but she still yearns to do better. One day, she sees Shingo at home and asks if he and ᗩကိᗪᗪ are together again. To avoid the question, Shingo asks if she's read her mother's diary. Shocked, Asa realizes ᗩကိᗪᗪ kept it from her. Confronted, ᗩကိᗪᗪ gives Asa the diary. Overwhelmed with emotion, Asa reads it and later asks ᗩကိᗪᗪ why she took her in. ᗩကိᗪᗪ bluntly says no one else stepped up, so she did. Hurt, Asa accuses her of pitying her. She storms off, saying ᗩကိᗪᗪ has her mother and boyfriend, while she has no one. The next morning, Asa skips school, even though it's her board exam. The teacher calls ᗩကိᗪᗪ and scolds her for negligence. But ᗩကိᗪᗪ knows Asa had left for school. Concerned, she visits her mother's house and learns Asa had been there earlier. Deeply upset, ᗩကိᗪᗪ asks her mom how one should raise a child. We learn ᗩကိᗪᗪ was mostly raised by her sister, Asa's mom, who constantly criticized her. This treatment left ᗩကိᗪᗪ socially awkward and introverted. She confesses she wasn't deeply saddened by her sister's death. She leaves and heads to a lake, a place from her childhood, where Asa also ends up. Mistaking ᗩကိᗪᗪ for her mother from afar, Asa runs toward her. They talk. Asa admits she hasn't read the diary yet, afraid of what it might reveal. She says she's trying to understand her mother through memories. ᗩကိᗪᗪ shares her side, how Asa's mother criticized her harshly, once even tearing up a drama script ᗩကိᗪᗪ wrote. That experience sparked years of resentment. But now, caring for Asa, she realizes her sister's actions came from a place of concern, not hatred. But ᗩကိᗪᗪ tells Asa that the very things she once saw as cruelty were acts of love, just like how she now worries about Asa, as her mother once did. The secret hidden in Worlds Apart is a single frame that subtly reveals the true identity of the main character, something never mentioned in the script. Looking closely during the final scene, you'll see a reflection in the window that hints that the character was part of the opposing world all along. This shocking detail completely changes how you see the ending, and it's so well hidden that even the director hoped no one would notice. So, genius twist or total nonsense? Find out below. And if you spotted a detail we missed, drop it in the comments. Prove us wrong. Be subscribed to enjoy more movies. Our next recap will blow your skirt up.